It's a Friday. Judah loves Fridays. This is the second best Friday of the second best. No, actually, this would be the third best Friday of the month. The two best Fridays are payday Fridays. So this would make it the third best Friday because payday Friday's one. There's 2 payday Fridays per month.
Yeah.
The third best work day of the month, right, Judah?
Yeah.
You get paid? Yeah. Look at you, man.
He gets paid over there.
Occasionally.
Look at you.
He gets
Thank
paid.
you for putting the mic in front of your face there, Judah. Appreciate that.
You're
We love it when you chime in. You've got actually great things to say.
Every 2 weeks for 13 years. That's how it works. That's called a job. J-O-B.
You know what? Wouldn't know. Haven't worked a day in my life after I got out of the Marine Corps.
There you go. I mean, you've made your passion your profession.
I would not. I honestly have not worked a day in my life. Some days were a little bit less happier than others.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's the thing is maybe we lead the show here. While we've made our passion our profession, it's still very much, how would you characterize self-employment and entrepreneurship? It's not the rainbows and sunshines and doggies and puppies and always fun time that Shark Tank and shows like that make it out.
Oh, God forbid.
I mean, it's we should talk about that to start the program.
Yeah. All I got is some numbers on new construction, but yeah, look, I love the Batman and Robin, just the Keith and Jerry show.
Because you and I are very similar. Even when we're not at our desk or chair, we're probably constantly thinking about something tied to work.
Well, I'm just trying to think, period. So
I knew you were
let's not get carried away there.
I knew the Zen Mavro was going to say that.
Let's not get carried away.
Oh.
Trying to think, right?
Oh my God!
What I always say, people that love me do not like when I say this, but I'm a 1 marble guy doing a 2 marble job.
I don't like when you say that.
I know that. And
I don't like when you say that.
My 1 marble's cracked a bit.
I don't like when you say
that. But that's what makes me endearing.
That's you are very endearing.
Well,
you have the gift. Can we get the cameras on? Because I want to embarrass this guy a little bit. He's got the gift of likability. You got that.
I don't know. I got a couple of people I'm working with that are not happy with what I'm telling them, and they don't necessarily.
Well, that's because you're honest.
Very
you shoot
honest,
them straight.
Very
and
direct.
sometimes people don't want to hear that.
People do not want to hear that.
And that's how we do business, and that's what's made us successful.
People do not want to hear that.
Right.
Absolutely right.
But you have to be.
Well, you got to do it sensitively.
Right.
But
that's the key. I've had to figure that out.
Yeah.
Initially, 15 years ago, I was just like, no, this way.
Let me see if I got my therapist license with
me
today.
Yeah, I know.
I think I got a therapist license in here somewhere. No, it's a contractor's license.
And a realtor's license.
Yeah, well, the realtor's license is really the therapist license.
Right.
I was on the phone on the way in doing some therapy work.
J-Dubs.
This is a real estate show, right?
Well, it's a real estate show.
There you go.
We can rock and roll when you're ready, J-Dubs.
Quiet on the set.
Guys, welcome to Real Talk with Keith Smith. My name is Jerry Miller, and it's just great to be with you on a Friday. I woke up feeling invigorated, a zest for life, and I generally have a zest for life, but today was fantastic. Our oldest, our 5-year-old, got a little dabble of what kindergarten was going to look like for him, which we're very excited about. I get to spend time on this show with folks I call family. Keith, I think, calls me family back. Judah from time to time.
You know that whole.
Judah from time to time, I think, calls family back.
What's that saying? You can choose your friends, but family you can't choose. I'm kind of stuck with your ass.
I say it's a love-hate relationship. I love Judah, and Judah from time to time may hate me over here, but I think for sometimes he loves me. We were talking about the life of a self-employed entrepreneur. And it's not sunshine and rainbows and puppies every day, is it not, Keith?
No, it's not, and it's really a interesting topic to kick the show off. It's funny. Part of what we did in San Diego, this convention or summit we went to, some of it was real estate based, but some of it was exactly what you're just talking about. The spirit, the self-employed spirit, to go ahead and what does it take to get out there and do that. And it's interesting. I was just actually reading something about this morning. There was an article that RIS Media put out to talk about what's the 3 top things that new real estate agents should be always having in their mind. And the first thing is it's a business. Now, a lot of people maybe don't understand that, but this is a business.
It's a
right?
business.
This is a business. But yeah, it is not all sunshine, rainbows, and puppies. But I'll tell you what, I've never worked a day in my life since 1987. 86. I got out of the Marine Corps in 86, 87.
2008 for me, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And it's an emotional roller coaster ride. It can be at times, but there's nothing I'd rather do. And to put it in perspective, even when I'm doing my hobbies, when it's like going to a restaurant or going to a brewery or playing squash or playing pickleball, racket sport, or hanging out with my family.
Your brain's turning.
My brain's turning.
Yeah.
And I'm talking with people, and you and I, cut to the chase. We have the gift of human connection.
We like to talk.
We like to talk, and we get energy off other people. But one of the positives of us communicating with people and having this conversation and be able to do this is it sometimes leads to relationships that are professional.
How do you navigate? That's an interesting navigation, right? Because you've got the work side and then you've got the personal side, and the separation between the two isn't really there. It's sometimes intertwined. How do you kind of keep
That's a great question.
Keep it going? And then I know your Better 7H is involved in the business, if not directly, indirectly.
Oh, very directly. Yeah,
for sure. I know mine is. And then how do you keep that? And it's funny. We're very open book. We actually go to therapy once a month and have this conversation. And it was interesting. This topic came up in our therapy session yesterday.
Well, I'll say this.
She keeps on going, why are you with this guy?
We tried my better half, and she's actually with our oldest right now. It's a 2-hour orientation kindergarten period. I had to cut out a little bit early because got to pay the bills here.
This pain in the butt Smith made you come here.
No, she's the best. She understands the concept. So we tried of working. She actively, I talked about this on the show, actively works within our businesses, actively. And we tried doing it where it was a desk in the office next to me, and that did not work.
That's the same reason why my wife and I don't run together.
Yeah.
Right? We're similar people. It was really interesting. I have to bring it back on. But we literally dress alike, but not talk about it. Literally, I'm wearing a blue polo and a pair of white pants, and Yona's wearing a dress right now that is exactly the same color with white flowers.
Love it.
Didn't even talk about it. And I looked at her. First I said, hey, man, you look pretty sexy. And she does. And I'm sorry about that, honey. And then I looked at her. I said, damn, we're wearing the same colors. Didn't even talk about it. Down to the shoes.
That's great. That's great. So how we figured it out was this. Don't have the desks next to each other in the same office. Yeah. Have a laptop, work wherever you want. She's got 2 little boys, one of them now going to kindergarten. She's at the house. We communicate via text when we need to. If it's something more complicated than text message, we'll hop on the phone or FaceTime. We'll figure it out during the workday. At home, when I get back, 6:30 for dinner.
Do you shut it off at home?
I try to. Yeah. I've gotten better at that. When you make your passion your profession, it's borderline on an obsession. And I have to navigate that as well. But the separation, a little bit of separation during the workday, has made it work.
And you're really good at that because you shut me down early in the morning in the beginning of this, right?
Well, that was because you were texting at 4:35 a.m.
No, it was 5:30.
And we had a baby boy.
Jerry, don't exaggerate. It was 5:30.
It was early. Now, you know what? The crazy thing is, we're up now then. So
yeah, and I
totally
don't do
fine.
it out of respect, but our chemistry has gotten to the point that we don't really need to do this stuff.
Right.
It just hits off.
I mean, you and I have worked together in Judah, how long now?
Too long.
4+ years? Is it?
Did you hear what I just said?
Oh, I heard. Was the first show we ever did in 2018? Was it Q4 of 2018?
Yeah, actually.
It was, right?
Yeah.
That's when you and Yona came on.
Yeah, we've been
and it clicked so well. We did another one, remember?
Yeah, somebody happens to like a camera and a microphone. I have no idea who the hell that is.
I think you and I are very similar.
Yeah. I did. I got a haircut yesterday. Thank you for noticing, by the way.
Oh, you look fantastic.
And I got my mustache trimmed
It
yesterday.
looks very thick. Your
Right.
hair, your mustache manicured well.
There you
Your
go.
hair.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I was a little worried about our relationship there for a minute, but so I just got a haircut, so I'm leaving the house, and I put my hairspray in. Yona looks at me and goes, "You're such an idiot. Your hair wasn't moving anywhere." And what happens at a certain age?
You pomade and Tresemme number 4, don't you?
I do, and which I really didn't need. But at a certain age, you're probably here already. But at a certain age, you get into these routines.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a routine, and
Yeah.
I don't. And if I get out of my routine, and my fear is the older I get, the worse it's going to be. So my daughters who are listening today, I apologize in advance to move forward. But look, back to the main question. Look, overall, it was funny. We were talking about the difference between the words satisfied and happy.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Oh, I'd love to unpack that. Dylan's Rule, good to see you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Johnny Ornalis, Kevin
Johnny.
Yancey, we got a lot of folks watching the program.
So what's the definition of happy and what's the definition of satisfied, right? And this definition of happy means different things to different people, right? Happy is like a really big word. It means something, but does it really mean something? Satisfied has some little bit more depth to it, right? This is the guy who can barely speak English just talking about words. But satisfied is and your level of satisfaction as you go on in your life changes, right? What satisfies you at 20 years younger than me and what satisfies me is maybe two different things. But business. Look, let's face it. Real estate is real estate right now. Everybody's a little bit off. Sales are down 40-50%. We're pretty much where I thought we were going to be this year, which is off, but we're not less than what I thought we were going to be, which is great news on it. But guess what? We're happy. We're happy. There's that word, but we're satisfied. To your dissatisfaction, we travel still, right?
Travel's important to you, though, so I understand it. I've grown to understand it.
Yeah, really.
I've literally.
Tell me how.
So I'll put it in perspective for the viewers and listeners what we're talking about.
Real estate soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, Keith, the show is Real Talk with Keith Smith. The show is Real Talk with Keith Smith. Okay?
I'm focusing on the real talk.
We do the show 3 days a week. Of the things that we do at the businesses here in the Mackler building, the brand management, you'd say brand management takes up most of our time.
Sure.
Managing the brands due to for our clients. I Love Seville show, I would say, is second. Real Talk is third.
No, stop it.
I mean, Real Talk is 3 days a week, 90 minutes a show,
Oh,
plus
take
the
up the
post
time.
and
Got it.
taking up time. That's third here. Brand management, the B2B, what we do with our clients, one.
So what are you trying to tell me?
Well, here's my saying, and we've been working together for almost 5 years this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Initially, when you were taking all this vacation time, I was like, it's Real Talk with Keith Smith. Your
son
name is on the headline, Real Talk with Keith Smith. But then this is what I realized over the 5 years, that it's so important to you, and when you come back from these trips, you are energized and you are
So it's funny.
pumped.
So the
You need it.
correct, because back to the whole.
Your travel is my squash.
Yeah, but I also ride bikes and.
No, but you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's an outlet for you.
Yeah. So back to the rainbows and puppies and stuff like that, and the fact that Yona and I work every day together. We travel this, and so that we work when we travel.
Oh, I know you do. I've seen it.
Yeah, we work when we travel. And back to the connections. I mean, we're just in San Diego, and we've got a referral going there. We're sitting. I didn't get a chance to tell you this in the prep of the show. You were sitting with this. Remember this couple I was telling you about that bought a home in Chattanooga?
Yeah.
They just referred us somebody.
That's fantastic.
So I'm sitting on a beach, actually in a bar, but sitting
Talking real estate.
talking real estate because that's what we do.
Of course.
Right? You talk branding, I talk real estate, life, whatever it is, and we are now getting a referral into our area because they have family that's moving into here. I don't know if we're going to find them something to buy, but that's a whole different.
They got family coming here?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. So
Jamie
just-
Turner giving you a little zing over here. Jamie Turner, I love when you watch the program, The Real Estate Investor, repping the pep and call pepper. Real Talk with Neil Williamson on Fridays. Real Talk with Quentin Beckham on some days as well. But then he says, I completely understand the need for some R&R and recharging the batteries. Jamie and his beautiful better half. Is your first child born, Jamie? I believe you guys just had a baby shower, right? Your beautiful wife. I saw photos on your Facebook page of her at a baby shower. Maybe not born yet. He says definitely understand the need for R&R though. Shout out to him for prioritizing R&R.
Yeah, so this is important to Yon and I, but it's R&R. You know, look, I was trying to explain this to somebody. You know, we work. I know what you do. We work 12 hours a day.
I mean,
minimum.
think about it. I just took 10 days off. Went to.
Yeah, but you worked every day.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
But the level of work. So what? And I watched it. What you did when you took 10 days off was you worked on your creative stuff.
Oh yeah.
Saw it. Totally saw it.
I was able to take time away. So here's the thing: we're hosting hours of talk shows every week. Sometimes you're working. It's like the E-Myth Mastery, the book. Any entrepreneur or business owner that's listening or watching the show, the most impactful book I've ever read from a business standpoint is a book called E-Myth Mastery. If you read this book, it will change how you go about your business. The whole concept is work on your business instead of in your business. And when I was able to
I usually say for your business.
Yeah. So
Right.
like when I was able to take this time off in Southampton, I was able to think the big picture stuff of
So
the business
now
and
you
where I
just
wanted
learned-
it to go.
Now you just learned why I go away, and that's what we do. We first of all, Yon and I need to reconnect, even though we're together all the time, right? That is our priority, to reconnect on it. And we get to work. We tweak business plans. We do whatever. We talk to people, but it's a whole different vibe, right? You know, it's like, okay, I got to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Got this to do. Got my bike ride in. You know, it just becomes a different pace, and the brain just changes. You know, you're just so much more creative. If you've got to create, for me anyway, my creative side works much better when I go and do that. But it's very interesting. You work back to the whole, you know, rainbows and puppies and what it is. You know, if you're not working 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day, it's just what happens, right? When we go down there, we get the same amount of work done in half the time. I can't tell you why. Somebody out there smarter than me probably can figure it out. But we actually get the same amount of work done. And the other thing is when you travel, did you find people bugged you less?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. People won't bug you.
People didn't bug me.
Well, they'll bug you with real problems, but the stuff that they can fix themselves, they generally fix.
100%.
Oh, no.
100%. I noticed that as well. I thought, you know, we closed a couple deals while we were up
Yeah.
there.
Isn't that
We
great?
set the parameters for the Jerry and Jerry show while we're out there. Worked on this mom show that we're doing. I mean, it was needed. And I'm looking forward to doing it again. Got another hiatus coming up at the end of September until October.
Okay, now I'm nervous.
Real Talk with Keith Smith. Neil Williamson in this chair.
Yeah. No, I've actually.
Is Neil watching today? Neil, you watching today, buddy? We love you, Neil.
I spent some time with him yesterday on. He and I did Real Estate Matters with Michael Guthrie. We pre-recorded it. So
Very nice.
That was a lot of fun talking about what we did for the Regional Housing Partnership and the Developer Incentive. It was actually a great conversation on that end of it. But yeah, so it's a recharge the batteries and go ahead and move forward. And to us, it's super important. You're smiling.
Bill McChesney watching the program.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
That made me laugh. He said several of us reprimanded Jerry for his social media activity while he was on vacation. He
Thank
used
you,
the word
Bill.
admonished us. Well, I mean, let's cut to
It's funny Bill should say that because for a fraction of a second,
Yeah.
I had my phone and I was going to do that and
Yeah.
I put it down and I said, you know what? If he would have did that to me, I'd be pissed. And it's funny, we're becoming family.
Yeah, we are family.
We are family.
Yeah, I definitely consider you family.
And what do we do every once in a while?
Yeah, we tell each other, hey,
Every once in a while we get
we
up.
got to.
Every once in a while we get each one of a little back of the hair up
Yeah.
a little bit. But what do we do after that?
Fist
Hug.
bump or hug it out.
Hug it out, and
Yeah.
then say, "I love you. See you. It's kind of like going to confession.
And that's only natural for folks that spend as much time as we do to, each week. I mean, Jude and I, 45 hours a week. I mean, some weeks I spend more time with him than my wife, literally, because literally and within 10 feet of each other, 15, 20 feet of each other, in an office that's about, 950 square feet. It's not roses and sunshine.
So I'm a student of body language, and it's amazing.
He wears his body language very tangibly.
So real estate, guys, I think that's what we're supposed to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to hug you and kiss you later.
John Blair, what's up, pal? Kyle Irvin, Michael Plecker, Olivia Branch, Jamie Turner, Dr. Wolf. Dr. Wolf, we got to get you on the show. Holly Foster, Bellamy Brown, Kevin Yancey, Laura Fauner, Liza Borges, Eric King. Aaron, I hope this works out for you. Brittany Gray, Tom Stargell, Jen Finazzo, Scott Q, Juan Sarmiento, your beautiful daughter, Yvonne's watching the program right now. Word on the street, Yvonne, is you're coming on the show.
Yeah, as of this morning, I hope she doesn't, is committed, but on Wednesday, and it's going to be, I'm looking forward to it, been looking forward to it for a while. She's going to be a lot of fun. But she's going to be here with Scott, and what we're going to talk about is her actual transaction and how we helped her move it. And what we want to try to do is, and this based on this conversation I had with the Chattanooga couple, that, talk a little bit more bigger picture that can help everybody. Because, again, sitting at the dock of the bay, it's amazing who actually listens to this show and watches it. But hey, real estate show. So, got any real estate questions? Throw them out. You got any case studies?
Kevin likes to play the bull and the bear. He's often Kevin's the bear.
Kevin Yancey.
Kevin Yancey. We don't mind that you're the bear from time to time. Kevin, the king of Waynesboro over here. He says, so how does the Evergrande bankruptcy affect the U.S. market? China's largest is it their largest real estate holding company? The news today. China property giant Evergrande files for bankruptcy protection in the United States in a Manhattan court. China's heavily indebted property developer Evergrande Group on Thursday filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy protection.
Was it 15?
Chapter 15, yeah. And the filing to the Manhattan Bankruptcy Court, the firm sought recognition of restructuring talks underway in Hong Kong, the Cayman Islands, and the British Virgin Islands. The world's most indebted property developer defaulted in 2021 and announced an offshore debt restructuring program in March. To put some of their real estate holdings in perspective, net losses for 2021 and 2022 for Evergrande were $66.36 billion in 2021 and $14.76 billion in 2022. This company is hemorrhaging right now. A lot of folks say this could be an early indication of the collapse of other, real estate holding companies or developers.
So look, I haven't had an opportunity to dig into that. I was working on new construction numbers this morning, and maybe we can help Kevin out a little bit on Waynesboro single-family detached and attached here a little bit later. I believe, and I'm not by any stretch of the imagination an expert on that, I believe Chapter 15 is the foreign holding company's version of 13. I may be wrong. Somebody out there smarter than me can figure that out. But look, they're going to restructure. They've got a bunch of assets. I don't really know what impact that's going to have, particularly in our local market on it. I just haven't read up on it that much. But if it's a restructuring, I think they're going to restructure it. The question is, what are they holding? Is it multifamily? Is it single-family detached? Is it commercial? Right? That may make a difference. And again, I don't know for a fact, but I suspect if you dig into it, I bet you a lot of it is multifamily and a lot of it is commercial, possibly, like Class A space and stuff like that. So I don't know if Kevin knows that for sure. I don't know. But we'll have to research that. I don't want to wing it and not have it. But my suspicion is they'll restructure and kind of come out of it on the other end.
Yvonne right now is driving over the Chesapeake Bridge and tunnel right now. We cannot wait to have you on the show and feature you on the show.
I cannot wait to get my engine fixed on my boat and take them out fishing again on the
I cannot wait for her to sit here and watch her blossom as a realtor and as an agent. I think the Smith moniker and surname and Yes Realty Partners is going to boom in the Richmond market. She's got your charm and Yona's brains. I'm just having around with you. I love my friend so much.
Time out. Are you saying my wife's not charming?
I didn't say that.
Is that what you're saying?
I knew you were going to say that. The question some folks have is there some kind of contagion that's going to spread, and you know, a contagion that could spread with Evergrande leading the charge here? Time will tell. I think we're all in agreement that the commercial sector has got some exposure and some vulnerability.
So if they mostly hold commercial, I think, and it was funny, I was talking to Johnny Pritzloff this morning on a...
JP, love you, Johnny Pritzloff. Are you watching right now, John Pritzloff?
He and I...
Should I text him and say we're giving him some props?
I think you should do that. He and I are working on listing a gas station property together.
Fantastic.
Co-list it together. Hopefully he'll agree to that. It would be a lot of fun to work a deal with him. Look, Johnny
Pritzloff, someone text Johnny Pritzloff. Get Johnny Pritzloff in the mix.
He just was calling me.
JP, he was part of the the CFA deal.
Yes.
Was it $28 million?
Yep.
With High-Low, the LLC purchasing the old Martha Jeff, the CFA, and then rent back 47,000 square feet to the CFA Institute. That was a hell of a deal Johnny put together.
He's a rock star. That's the reason I want to partner with him. I've said this before, and I think there was a bunch of pushback from other folks. I think commercial and multifamily, commercial definitely. I think multifamily, I think is going to get soft and soft fast. I may be wrong.
Even multifamily around here? Are you talking national?
No. See, that's the problem with an article like that. That's a very, we're trying to talk macro.
Yeah.
But locally, I stand by it. I think we're 5 to 10 years out in inventory, impacting the single-family attached and detached. This isn't going to happen. Multifamily's got plenty of room for build out here. We just don't have enough product for the people. I think you start seeing rents to stabilize, though.
Donna Patton zings you over there. Keith, charming. Donna, I love you. Donna, we need to get you on the show. I love you, Donna.
No,
She's a
still
wealth of knowledge.
No.
I'd say you're charming.
No.
She knows you're charming.
Yeah. Well,
Mark Lichtman, what's up, pal?
Hey, Mark, how's it going? So, I took, Doug, you want to jump into some construction?
Yeah. Set the stage for them.
Yeah, so Greg Slater, dear friend of mine, he's a freaking genius when it comes to new construction.
Associate broker at Nest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to bring him on, but he does a really awesome job, this detailed new construction rundown. It's a lot of information, so what I've done is kind of boiled it down to something a little bit more digestible for the show. So I was taking a look at Albemarle County all the way through Waynesboro. I didn't get a chance to get to Stanton.
Everyone has such a hard time with that one. Stanton.
Yeah, but
Stanton.
I can't even say realtor.
You can say realtor.
No, I can't.
Realtor. Donna's listening.
I know that. I said that.
Right.
I didn't say that. I said that wrong on purpose.
Realtor.
So I think they're still out in Austin, actually. They may be back. But in any event, so I took a look at it, single-family detached, attached year over year, what's going on, where is most of the work happening, where is it not? And one thing jumped out at me, and maybe we can take a dive into it, and some of the real estate agents and the professionals watching can come in and see what their thoughts on it. So Albemarle County, single-family attached, right? Not detached. So these are duplexes, townhomes, so forth and so on. 2023, there was 197 sold. So this is year to date. This is as of 8/18 this morning. There was 197 new construction units sold. So that means closed and people moved into them. The median sales price was $458. Do you want to know what 2022 was?
That was 2018's number?
No. 2023.
Okay, 2023.
From 8/18, from today going back to January 1, Albemarle County, single-family detached, 2023. There was 197 that closed.
Okay.
Sales price was $458. 2022, same metrics, 83 were sold. So it was 137% increase in volume.
In 2023.
137% increase. There was 114 more units closed in 2023. Single family attached, or not detached, these are attached, new construction, But last year the sales price was 472. So we're down by about 3%, 14K.
Well,
Volume is up.
yeah. Can I unpack that?
That's what I want to do.
So this is my attribute. This is how I unpack that.
Single family detached is different.
This is single family attached.
Attached. These
Yeah.
are townhomes and duplexes, that kind of, or villas is what, depending on who
So
you're
single
talking.
family attached, 2023, from January 1 to August 18th, you had a median value of 458,000.
Yep.
In 2022, from January 1 to August 18th, you had a median value of 472K.
Yep.
2023, there was an increase in attached new construction sold 137% increase.
That's right.
114 more in 2023 versus 2022 from Jan 1 to August 18th.
That's it.
That is a reflection of the interest rate environment. The values dropping are developers and builders.
I'm going to look at that differently.
Okay, so this is what I'll say. Developers and builders in 2023 are having to incentivize clients and or discount price because rates have gotten so high.
So you're talking about the 14 grand.
Yeah. That 14K, it's an incentivization either through finished basements, better finishes, or a cut in price because the interest rate environment has gotten more expensive. Now from the units sold, the 114 more this year versus last year, that's a reflection of existing real estate, nothing being out there to purchase. So as there's no existing real estate out there to purchase, such little units compared to last year, especially the year before, folks are shifting their buying focus to new construction. I'm seeing it with the developer and builder we're working with. His phone ringing off the hook right now.
So
the challenge though is the land acquisition.
Yeah. So you ended in where I wanted to start at. So part of why
I learned a lot from you.
Part of why you
Does that make you nervous?
Very nervous. Should make people out there nervous. The reason why you got 197 versus 83 is you've got to keep in mind that these lots took years to get there. It just happened to be a timing thing. If you take a look at it, which I can do on each one of the transactions, it's really hard, difficult in new construction, but you generally don't see a lot of it's got to be Donna, I bet you, right?
So Donna, God, Donna's making me laugh right now.
Yeah, Donna, do something. Go to work, will you?
Donna says makes me really nervous too. Donna, Pat, I can so see you doing that. And she wants you to talk about the Fluvanna Board of Supervisors density.
No, she doesn't.
No, she literally said, want to talk about Fluvanna BOD for density, or have you already talked about it? We touched on it briefly.
Well, it got voted down. So.
It got shot down.
And I listened to the whole thing to 12:30 at night.
We can bring it up again. We touched on it briefly.
Yeah,
but finish your thought, though, because
we'll
you were getting deep.
Yeah. So if you take a dive into the numbers, you're partly right. There was a lot of more lower priced units out there. New construction's difficult, right? Existing sales, you can take a look if price was dropped or incentives were given. It doesn't really show up that much. It's difficult in the new construction end of it unless you have a conversation with it. But there was more units that hit the market that were more cost effective. Well, those units started 6 years ago, right, through the development process and the building and so forth and so on. I think the timing just happened to hit that way, that interest rates and all that kind of great stuff. But the reality of it is you're 100% right. There's nothing to buy. By the way, Albemarle County, right? Albemarle County is the only county that had any single family, except for the other side of the mountain. On this side of the mountain, Albemarle County was the only county that had single family attached, excuse me. I say single family detached, forget. Single family attached to sell. Every other counties was zero. Greene was zero, Fluvanna was zero. I think there might have been one or two in Louisa.
That's a bananas price, Judah. Did you hear that? New construction for attached in Albemarle County, townhomes.
Now you got to dig into that.
$450,000 median value in Albemarle County. We were talking about this with Alex and Michael yesterday, and after Today y Mañana, and the topic came up about buying now versus waiting. And I said, 12 months from now, values could pop another 8 to 10%.
Yeah. So
To your point, when do you get in the game?
now,
Judah, when do you get in the game?
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible. You taught me that.
was that God?
That was God. That was Judah. Get in the game now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's look.
I mean, think about getting in the game versus 2020 versus 2023.
Yeah.
That 3-year delta, if you had gotten the game in 2020 versus 2023, you're talking about an appreciation delta of what? Albemarle County, 35, 40, 45%?
Well, I can tell you, single-family detached new construction, 2023, where numbers are flipping here, was 110 sold.
Uh-huh.
Last year was 136, so it's down 19%. But the sales price, or the median sales price, new construction, single-family detached is 796 this year versus 720, so you're up 11%, 76,000.
And that's year over year.
That's year over year. That's
Yeah.
just this first 8 months, 18 days versus the same 8 month, 18 days. We'll find out. I think when we do the show next year and we start looking at this, you're going to start seeing Albemarle County single-family attached numbers volume drop
Yeah.
because they're running out of lots.
They're running out.
They're running out of lots.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is where the market is going. It's what they're trying to do. It's where people can buy at this point. They're getting into the game. Maybe game is the wrong choice of words, but
No, I think that's the right choice.
they're getting into the home ownership path. Ladder is what terminology I use, the home ownership ladder. So you're getting at the bottom rung, but you'll start working your way up through it as your equity is built and so forth.
Donna Patton says, when you get in the game, you get in the game now.
Yesterday, actually.
And all exclamation points. Donna Patton, I love you.
Yeah,
She
yes.
says, Fluvanna County also needs something other than houses to support its services and its jurisdiction. A lot of
Well-
people don't realize this. What percentage, Judah, I'll throw this to you. You got a 3-shot set up, Judah?
Yeah.
I'll throw this to you. Ready? We'll get Judah in the mix. I know Keith knows this answer. What percentage of Fluvanna County's yearly budget is funded by real estate taxes? What percentage of Fluvanna County's yearly budget is funded by real estate taxes?
So
Is it super high, like 95%?
what was the number?
It said 95. It's over 90. Very well done. Judah learns here as well.
I'm going to push back.
That's over 90.
No. The portion.
Let's see.
No.
Okay.
So, Mr. Miller.
We can look it up.
Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
The portion of real estate taxes versus commercial money that's received in for real estate taxes and residential, that number's right. But the physical budget itself,
Yep.
because there's federal money, state money that's received, is not 90-something%.
Okay, so
So the
okay.
overall budget is X.
All right. I should have phrased the question
Yeah.
differently. The revenue generated in Fluvanna County.
The revenue, that's exactly.
The tax revenue generated in Fluvanna County.
By real
Personal property tax, real
Real
estate
estate.
tax, business tax,
95%
lodging,
of it. That's exactly
90
right.
plus of that
That's
revenue
exactly right.
generated within Fluvanna County jurisdiction
look,
is real estate taxes.
But it's a chicken and egg thing, right? So how do you bring businesses? I'll tell you an example.
I think that ship has sailed.
Say that again.
So I'll do this in very simple terms. It's very
Thank you, by the way.
It's very clear to me.
You're going to go like this?
It's very clear to me that Fluvanna County's Board of Supervisors, their appetite for special use permits and housing density
It's
in
in Green
Fluvanna
now. It's in Louisa now.
is not very deep or strong.
No.
They're willing to do by right. They're fine with by right. I mean, because they really have no choice here. By right's by right.
There's
It's
no
gonna
willing
happen.
involved
yeah,
in
by
it.
right is you, okay. They're
By.
acceptable of by right because they got no influence or choice. But there's not going to be any political influence.
And you won't get by right developments. You might get a few.
You're going to get sprawl in Fluvanna.
Well, you will get sprawl.
You'll get sprawl.
The
And as you get
the
sprawl and
rural
low
area
density,
the rural area that they're trying to protect will end up having a few houses in
Yeah.
it. There'll be big number of homes.
Yep.
I can tell you, Fluvanna County, single-family detached, new construction. This is everything. This includes Lake Monticello. Is at 375.
as Fluvanna County gets sprawl and no density, they're not going to get business development. Fluvanna will not get business
Well,
development.
let me try this a different way.
Please.
I chair the Piedmont Community Land Trust.
Yep.
We are trying to find a new executive director.
Okay.
This is a 6-figure job.
Okay.
we are having trouble finding people that wants to throw the hat in the ring. There's people, right? But it's not as deep as we would like it to
Are
be.
you trying to hire within market?
In market, out of market.
Doesn't matter.
We've
Most
hi-
qualified.
We've hired a firm to help us do this.
Okay.
Spark Mill out of Richmond. They're awesome. If you ever need them, they're great.
Okay.
The number one pushback,
Yeah. Is the cost of living.
can't find any place to buy.
Yeah.
And the cost of living.
Well, I hate to say
A
this.
6-figure job.
Well, you just told us the
Yeah.
what was it? The census number, the household income for
No,
this.
no. So this is HUD.
Oh yeah, the HUD number for a household in Central Virginia. The average median income for a household is 123,000.
300.
What's that?
$123,300.
Yeah, 123,300. So if
That's the HUD number. So
if-
what's important with
and
that?
what's the offer for the chair of the Thomas Jefferson?
Not that much.
Okay, so you're offering below area median income.
Yeah. So what happens is it's two working.
You're going to have 2 people working
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, we will find a person. I'm confident of it. It's just, I just wanted to put.
Who was the last one?
She moved on to Shekinah Mitchell. She moved on to a much better position closer to home, and we're super happy for her. But the reality of it is, that 6 figures is having a hard time do that, and and
I
that.
mean, if you're making $100,000 and you don't own a piece of real estate right now,
well,
you're going to have some uphill sledding.
We're going to have some uphill slide. So, Greene County, new construction, by the way, was very interesting, 23 over 22. The number's a little slow, but it's 27. Both years were exactly the same, so that was neutral. Price went up by 5%. It's currently 434. Last year was 415. We're at 19K above. Just to put a little perspective, non-new construction, single-family detached is like 399. It's right at 400,000. And that jumped from 385 at the end of the June to now. So the last 45 plus days, those prices have jumped up to, let's call it 400 on that end of it. So to your point, getting in the game now is what to do. It's difficult.
I genuinely believe, and Donna, I'm curious of your take on this. Donna Patton, you're a pro. You're a pro's pro. Michael Plecker, Jamie Turner, curious. Bob Yarborough, Lonnie Murray, I'm curious of your take. Kevin Yancey, Travis Hackworth, Johnny O, J.O., Johnny Ornalis. I'm looking forward to catching up with you on Tuesday, J.O. John Neal, commercial broker. I'm curious of your take on this. Rob Hubbard, the Esquire. I'm curious of your take on this. Laura Fonder, the chef. Constance Wyant, the queen of the gentleman farmer, Jay Wyant. Andrew Vaughn, I'm curious of your take. Jason Howard, king of Rio. Dave Norris, I'm curious of your take. Johnny Gava, I'm curious of your take. The developer, Cully Baggett, I'm curious of your take. I genuinely think this time next year, Charlottesville City and Albemarle County home values will see a double-digit year-over-year appreciation with the median value.
Yeah, double digits.
I think Albemarle County, it's a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Charlottesville City, we'll see.
Yeah.
Albemarle County is a slam dunk.
Yeah.
The Q2 report for Carr, it was 11% year over year.
Yeah. And we're going to, in the beginning of September, we're going to have Woody sitting in this seat on the first Monday, and we're going to be talking about numbers because we're going to get to them a little sooner than Carr gets to them and start so folks can kind of understand where the market's trending.
This is a great question from Jamie Turner.
But if you don't mind, you're
Sure.
100%. The where will matter. Certain jurisdictions.
I mean, Albemarle County is the
well,
most affluent.
well, it's not only that; it's just where the volume is.
Right.
The volume of sales are. Right. I mean, you just look at my notes that I got here, just on the new construction. The volume for single-family detached and attached is let's call that 310 units. Greene is 27, Fulvan is 35. It's by far the volume of units transaction there. But you'll see as we talked about this before, the center of Charlottesville out. As you get a little bit closer, you're going to see definitely just below 10, if not low double-digit increases. Some of the other jurisdictions might be, single-digit increases, but there'll be increases. There'll be one or two that'll be negative. I'm confident.
I would not be surprised if Nelson's negative again. It was
Yeah.
negative year over year.
Yeah.
Q2 in the car
Yeah.
report.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if Buckingham is negative.
Yeah.
Year over year.
You're going to see that. Yeah. The other side of the mountain is going to be positive for sure.
I mean, I think that's safe to say. Jamie Turner has this question, and then we'll get to the comments that are coming in. He is a contractor, government contractor, defense sector. I'm not exactly sure what you do, Jamie.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
I'm a manager at KPMG on his Facebook page. He said, I was always told when I entered the workforce a few years ago in Washington, D.C., in that area, that a household needed to make $300,000 to be comfortable up there. I wonder what that number is for Central Virginia today.
Well, that's a great question.
I guess also the level of comfortability.
Yeah, that's a subject.
That's subjective.
It's subjective,
Yeah.
right? What's comfortable, what's not comfortable. I will tell you that I'll try to answer that a little bit differently. If you take a look at HUD and all these folks that look at this, your housing income should only be about a third. Excuse me. Your housing expenses should only be about a third of your income, right? So if you're making X, a third of that should go to your mortgage and so forth and so on. The reality of that is probably closer to 50%, if not more.
Especially in this area.
Yeah. So
I think those numbers need to change.
Yeah.
I mean, the HUD numbers are based on.
Yeah.
They include incredibly rural markets as well.
Yeah, and it's that I've been at this game forever, and it's always been the third. That's always been the answer. Well, I don't think that's the answer any longer.
Yeah.
It's probably close to 50%.
Somewhere between 40 and 50.
No, in Buckingham, that might be different.
Yeah.
Right.
Nelson, that might be different.
Yeah.
Augusta County, that might be different.
But-
Albemarle County,
Yeah, and Fluvanna, and people always
Charlottesville City.
people will push back with me when I say the AMI for Fluvanna is 123,300. Now that's they look at this as a regional, and there's all kinds of math that they do on that end of it. But the simple answer is most of the people in Fluvanna County are working at UVA making whatever they're making, and their income comes back with them. That's why Fluvanna looks like that as far as income goes.
This question's come in the feed, and this is a fantastic question from Christopher. He says, when does a first-time home buyer have to drop $500,000 in Albemarle County to get into the game? We're pretty close to it right now, Christopher. I mean, a first-time
I
home
think
buyer,
you got a 4 in it.
first-time home buyer in Albemarle County undoubtedly has a 4 in it.
I think you got a 4 in it. Let's take a look at what's available in Fluvanna,
Albemarle County.
excuse me.
I think it's low 4s right now. And if my prediction is correct for Albemarle County year over year next year, I think you're going to see double-digit appreciation. Remember, in the CAR report that was just released, Q2 of 2022 versus Q2 of 2023, Albemarle County values appreciated 11%
Yeah,
year over year.
That's really old data.
It is old data.
as of right now. I
Yeah.
mean, not to pass shade on it, but they come to the game a bit too late to really help folks on it. And anyway, so we're gonna work on that with Woody, who's the genius, and myself, and try to keep things up to date. But right now, looking at and I'm assuming we're looking at detached,
Yeah.
right?
Single-family detached, no new construction, Albemarle County. You're probably looking at something in the 410, 415, 420 range.
So there's median, right? So this is all over Albemarle County. So right now, there's 41 homes on the market that meet that criteria. Median, you're right. Median right now is at 525. Now there's a couple of twos, two, three, two.
But those are going to need tremendous work.
Yeah, I haven't looked at them yet, but I can tell you they're probably not right. What's the 6 things?
Yeah.
Probably not at the right location.
Right.
The
Not
price might be right.
conditioned.
The condition and
Yeah.
the features might be there. So, I'm looking at the middle of the price range going from there's one at 170. God only knows what that is, up to 3.5. Right. There's not
The 3.5 in Albemarle County?
Yeah.
That's Tommy's listing in Farmington. 440 Oak Circle.
No, there's one that just tops that at
3,495,000.
Yeah, so there's 3,500,000. There's one that's
Oh,
five.
3,500,000. Where's that?
6397 Pig Mountain Road.
6397 Pig Mountain.
That's what the word says.
6397 Pig Mountain Road.
Free Union, out in Free Union.
Okay.
But it's got 114 acres on it, right? So Woody tries to keep me straight on this stuff. Sometimes you got to factor out the acreage, right?
100%, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, if we went into that, and go ahead and said what, 10 acres max?
I don't even think 10 acres is a good barometer. 5.
I would do. I mean,
10 acres is a farmette, isn't it?
Well, so
5 acres I wouldn't call a farmette.
yeah. Well, the and I'm only really looking 30 days back, by the way, because if it's been on the market for over 30 days, that's kind of something.
This Free Union house, I do not think it's even finished.
I'm moved on to something.
The one on Pig Mountain, 6397 Pig Mountain Road, 3.5. Let's see if it's in the copy. I don't want to jump to conclusions here. An artist design and built dream home is ready to finish to your specs. Yeah, it's not.
That's interesting. I took.
It is not finished yet.
Look at that. I got no new construction, so I don't know. That kind of sounds like new construction to me.
Well, it's got the exterior, but none of the inside's finished.
Yeah, I would classify that as new construction.
Yeah,
but,
I would.
But that's splitting hairs.
Yeah.
On that end of it. So
So
yeah.
I would say non-new construction. It's Tommy's listing at 3495 440 Oak Circle in Farmington. 5-bedroom, 5-bath, 5,138 square feet, a 1.6 acre lot.
That's it. I'm looking at that's at the. Mine goes from high to low, so it's at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
But yeah. So look,
Beautiful home.
Yeah. So the bottom line is right now, 5 acres. I'm looking at it 5 acres and under. You're roughly a median, so that's going to take out that high listing from Tommy and the low stuff out. You got a 5 in front of it.
Michael Plecker says there are 22 detached homes under 400,000 in Albemarle County right now.
Yeah. So
Do some need work? Yes, but
did
sweat
the-
equity pays off in the end.
Yeah.
One of the Shenandoah Valley's
Yeah,
finest
and so
backstops.
that's what people will do, right? Back to the 6 things, right? If they want to be in Albemarle County, so there's your location, and each location has a bit of a micro location on it, because Schuyler's maybe a little bit different than Western Albemarle. Price, we just kind of said, look, there's so many available at that 400, so it becomes a matter of condition, right, and features, right, and features are usually hard to change, right? But condition you can change, right? You can redo a kitchen, you can so forth and so on it. To Michael's point, that's what you're going to start seeing. And to Scott Morris's, with Ross Mortgage's point, they have loan products that can actually help you renovate your home on it. It's a 203K, if I remember correctly.
What do you think of that for the first-time home buyer?
It depends on the buyer, right? You're trying to get me in
No,
trouble.
I'm not. I just asked you a question, my friend.
Yeah. I know you're trying to get me in trouble
just
because
asked you
I don't
a
know
question.
if you're listening to it, you can't see this, but if you're watching it, Jerry's looking down at his
I just asked you a
and looking
question.
down at his phone.
How about I do
Look.
this?
I'll answer it honestly.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
It depends on the who, right? And if you
Owning a home is difficult enough, especially for a first-time home buyer. Embarking on a remodeling project during the process of first-time home buying is not for everyone.
What about-
But to Scott's point,
What did I ever tell you about remodeling?
double it, whatever you think it is, 2x it. Might even be 3x it in this market.
That's probably closer to being true.
Might be 3xing
So
it.
you've
But
got-
to Scott's point, Scott's providing information.
Yeah,
So
no,
Scott's
no.
doing his job saying we have these loans, and I respect what Scott's saying.
So the best way to do that is to do that before you move in.
yeah, but
Uh,
the problem if you do the remodel before you move in,
Where you living?
then you're going to be paying rent somewhere, plus your mortgage,
Or
plus your construction loan.
and probably storing your stuff someplace because you've sold your house.
Right.
And you're moving in a short-term rental or whatever.
It takes a very unique animal to want to
Yeah,
embark on that journey.
That, and you need real trusted advisors. ISC is perfect.
Interstate Service Company?
It's perfect. to
Home's
help-
best friend.
Help you do that. they're
Love
actually
the Wells family.
they're perfect to help you get the house on the market. So if you're on the selling side, right, that's when you want to reach out to folks like that, ISC, and start maybe upgrading stuff or updating stuff, because it'll come back to you on the back end of it. But man,
Stephanie watching the program now.
I built 600 homes in my career, and I got to tell you, doing a renovation. Look, we're going to talk about this with Yvonne on Wednesday. We literally went down this road, right? Okay, Dad, this is the neighborhood I want to be in. This is the price point I want to be in, right? This is the house I want. And then we started walking through it and go, well, it hasn't, the electrical system hasn't been updated since 1802, BC. The
Quest
roof.
Plumbing.
Oh, no, these stuff had old, not copper pipes. They had galvanized waste. I mean, this.
The stuff that rusts and cracks.
And
erodes.
And I said
crumbles.
I said to them, let's get a hold of Scott. Let's figure out where your comfort level is, and let's see what we can raise the price to. And they ultimately bought a home that is move-in ready. The only thing they got to do is cut the grass. Everything is ready. They can focus on their.
Is Houston cutting the grass?
No, he makes me do it. It's terrible. It's terrible. Because you got paid all this commission. You got to come cut my grass.
Houston's his son-in-law.
No. I honestly don't know how it gets the grass cut. I'm not asked to do it. That's all I know. But yeah, so that's how we helped guide them. They just rose their purchase price because they were fiscally able to do it, right? Their comfort zone was X per month. They realized X wasn't feasible. They didn't want to buy something that to take the risk of being a construction site for the next X number of years.
Especially since they have a baby.
That's exactly right. Life circumstances guide these things. Life circumstances guides buying and selling. I know we talk about numbers all the time and rates and all this stuff, but by and far, if you look at the data, the statistical data, life circumstances make the difference. And I probably got myself in a little bit of trouble.
I don't think you get yourself into trouble at all. You handle that well.
I'll find out. I will find out after the show.
I mean, with your daughter?
Family.
Okay. All right.
We'll
I think you represented Scott extremely well there.
Oh yeah, Scott for sure. Yeah. And he's family because we've known him
since he was knee high.
To a grasshopper.
Since he was knee high, Scotty Moe.
So interesting. Back on the new construction, that when I ran the numbers this morning, I didn't expect to see that for Albemarle County, that large of an increase, and I'm really curious how it's going to finish out the end of the year, and even more curious to see how it's going to happen this year. This is telling me that Stanley Martin Homes, one of our wonderful sponsors, and everybody, I would suspect them to start dialing back their sales on that, because I think they're going to be running out a lot. I think 90.
And they want to stagger them.
They want to stagger them. They want to kind of grow it a little bit.
And also, if they time them right and they stagger them, you'll get some appreciation there.
What's number 5? Timing.
Timing.
Right?
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything. Timing is everything. I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week.
100%. It took me a while to realize that, but I 100% agree with you.
Yeah. Good, I'm not. Lucky,
Louise watching the program, she says, why is the condo market not larger here, gentlemen? It's a good question.
Yeah, so it's a great question. It's a couple of fold. For whatever reason, a lot of them weren't built, and we can take a look at what, I haven't really looked at the condo market in a while. It's a great entrance level. It becomes a lot of how the lenders were lending money. Right, so there's this thing called warrantable and non-warrantable, and just a brief conversation about that. If a condo, regardless if it's commercial and or residential, is owned 51% or more by investors, it becomes very difficult to get loans for them because
it's non-warrantable.
It's non-warrantable, and what that means is these investors then can control what happens because of the condos association, homeowners association is then controlled by people that don't live it, owner-occupied folks. The other thing is that it's just difficult to get condos built, like everything else. Get them approved, get them built, and get them moved on. What will happen, I think, is and this is way down the line. It happened with the last time of great unpleasantness. Not that we're going to go there, but I think when the rental market gets a little soft, when inventory starts ticking back up,
The conversions.
there'll be conversions.
Yeah. Well, you already saw that.
There'll be conversions. People will convert, and that and that you can do that because as an owner of an apartment, I own all the units and I can convert them and sell them.
I saw
Walker Square went both ways, by the way.
Oh yeah.
It started as a condo, went to apartment, now it's back into a condo.
I watched Bart Fry do that with the Villas of Southern Ridge. The Virginia Beach developer and investor has converted his condos where he owns, it might be over 50% at the villas to rentals. He converted his sales office to a rental office, and dude rents them all day, every day, and twice on Sunday.
So
There's a line out the door.
So Albemarle County, I just plugged in condos just to see. No new construction because there's no new condos. There's only 4 condos available in Albemarle County right now, and they range from between 180,000 to 499 in that. There's 2 on Hydraulic Road, one, so that there's 4 available. There's 8 pending, by the way. Median sales price on the pending is $232.
So Louise follows with the question. She says, so the condo market is something we cannot really count on for an entry price point.
No, look, if you can find one, it's going to be difficult. The volume to pick from is not there, right? But if you want to get in, we're calling it the game, right? You want to move forward. A condo is a good way to start, particularly if you can get it at the right price point and do similar to what you have done, and then hang on to it, rent it, build whatever equity you can or appreciation you can, and then start moving up this particular ladder, right? That's a great first ladder. We just don't have a lot to pick from. You're reading comments.
I'm reading the comments fast and furious right here. Comments are coming in.
So Charlottesville right now, active and pending. Hold on a second. I may have made a mistake. Okay, here we go.
Eric Thompson says there's no entry points in this area, it seems.
Yeah,
I mean, we empathize with that comment, Eric. I just think the entry point, and maybe is it an Judah, you can help us here. Is it an oxymoron to say that 450 or 500,000 is the entry point?
So we're going to have Maggie Gunnels here on Monday.
I don't think it's an oxymoron. I mean, it's factually correct that 450 to 500,000 is now the entry point for a single-family detached. And hell, I mean, he was just saying the median value for Albemarle County for attached product in 2023 is 458.
New construction.
New construction. I mean, oxymoron's not the right word. It's
sad state of affairs.
a bitter reality.
Yeah, it's certainly that.
Bitter reality, is that how we characterize it?
Yeah, it's just so back to
people want to live here is the thing.
So back to the Donna Patton and what happened at the Fluvanna County Board of Supervisors, right? Look, I actually applauded that decision of not doing that. And I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole on this, but I'm a housing advocate.
I know you are.
Pretty clear about that. For whatever reason, staff of Fluvanna County chose the possible worst rezoning option, which is R4 in Fluvanna County. And we'll talk about this on Monday. I've got Maggie Gunnels coming in. We're going to focus on Fluvanna County quite a bit on Monday. But just to kind of set the stage a little bit, it was actually created for Lake Monticello. They had no zoning that Lake Monticello fit. And if you read the zoning ordinance, it says Lake Monticello, Lake Monticello, Lake Monticello. So for whatever reason, they picked this, and it only benefited really one piece of property, maybe 2. One piece of property in the whole county. And I've had this conversation with Chris Fairchild before the vote. I said, look, if staff is going to go, hey, we want to figure out better tools for the housing, regardless if you want housing or not, it should have been the PUD. They should have said, okay, you plan urban development, this is the best tool to go through it. It has to have commercial. It has to have a certain amount of open space. If you have over 110 units, you have to have a pool. You have to have all these amenities. It must be in an HOA so the county doesn't have to pay for all this stuff. It's your best tool. but it's only at 2.9 density units per acre. If they would have bumped that to 5 or 6, then there would have been a tool in their tool shed. But for whatever reason, they went down this road, spent a gazillion dollars to do it in man hours and people hours to do it for something that was never going to get passed. There was no way it's tantamount to spot zoning. And I'm a housing guy. I want more housing, but it was really a bad choice on staff's part, and I don't get it.
Well, why do you think it was? Why do you think they made that pick? Because they don't want more housing.
Who, staff? No, staff wants more housing.
You think staff does?
If you listen to I listened to the whole thing, that is not. I just think they made a bad decision. They maybe don't negotiate for a living. Let's put it that way. I don't want to
throw shade.
I don't want to throw shade on anybody, but whatever reason, they went down the wrong path. By the way, they would have never got the 5 for R3. But if you're going to go ahead and throw the dice on the table, you're going to throw your hand on the table, it better be your best hand.
Donna Patton says, OMG, I actually agree with Keith. I love you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
We need to get Donna back on the show.
Yeah. Apparently I have to.
Right. Donna's great on the program.
Yeah, I love Donna. Love Donna. We're family. We go back a long way. And the reason I don't bring Donna on the show that often is she knows too much about me.
And she's also a busy businesswoman.
Yeah, she's pretty busy. Yeah, she's
very
awesome.
Busy businesswoman.
She's a rock star. But right, they picked the wrong. They picked the wrong. You know, it was kind of showing up to a duel, and I picked the gun and you picked the knife, right? What the hell were they thinking on it?
You didn't see the supervisors tell staff, reconsider this.
No. So look.
And that could happen.
The board can do anything it wants.
Right.
Well, within reason.
The board did not do that.
No, this was a staff-driven incentive. So how do you? So I don't want to get down the thing. This is what's called a ZTA, zoning text amendment. So how does
Charlottesville City knows this well?
Yeah. How does a zoning text amendment get changed? Well, the way a zoning text amendment gets changed, Keith and Jerry have a piece of property, we want to rezone it, and we're concurrently doing a rezoning and a zoning text amendment, right? Or the board can say, I want you to do this, staff, or the planning commission can take this on their own, and that's what happened. And this was going back, I think it started in 2021 on it. But at the end of the day, it would only impact one piece of property. So they went through all this staff time, all this public meeting, all this stuff for just 1 or 2 pieces of property. I don't get it. And I've told Board of Supervisors this. I will tell staff this. I don't get it. If you're going to go ahead and swing, if you're going to swing for the fence, then swing for the fence. And not that they would have got it. There's no doubt in my mind there wasn't 3 votes there to up 3 to 5.
So here's what we know.
I just don't get it.
The appetite for new development in Greene County is
waning, if not gone,
if not non-existent. The appetite for new development in Fluvanna County is non-existent.
It's gone.
The appetite for new development in Albemarle County is non-existent.
Well, I think it's there. I
don't think it's there. You don't have the political capital to make anything happen. Ann Malik's going to get reelected. No shade on Brad, who's running.
It's interesting. I had a conversation with Ann, and Ann actually is talking about affordable housing more than not. I'm going to have a conversation with her, probably bring her on.
Please.
If she wants to come on. But it was interesting. Publicly said a couple of things that is a little bit different than she has been saying in the past. Not saying it's going to make a huge difference, but just I'm hearing some different words that she hasn't. And she's a. We go to. Her husband's in a band. We watch her husband play on the regular.
Which band is that?
It's a big band. It's, 40s kind of music.
Oh,
kind of
very
stuff.
nice.
It's a jazz kind of thing.
The only jurisdiction that seems to have an appetite for development right now is Charlottesville City, and there's no land to do. Upzoning.
Well, I think the city council they understand it and they want to move forward. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
Right. I think they'll get some version of the upzoning, as you call it, zoning rewrite, as I call it, They'll get that approved. Lloyd will do what Lloyd said he would do. I guarantee it, because I've seen it happen out west. They'll start cranking up the ratchet a little bit as far incentives on it. But I've learned from seeing this outside in other states around the country, it doesn't make as huge impact. It over time might, but you're not going to all of a sudden see 50 go to 150. It's just not going to happen. But look, Flavana's no. Louisa's no, by the way.
Yeah. Flavana's no, Louisa's no. Green's appetite is waning.
Green is...
Albemarle County will give you lukewarm at best.
Green is caught as catching some of the flu that's out there. Nelson would be the one that you probably could get something done in it. And I love Jesse.
Jesse's
to death.
watching.
I love him to death, but they don't necessarily have the infrastructure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And even if you had the infrastructure, there's some areas that do. Around Livingston, there is some infrastructure.
But outside of there, is the topography conducive to development?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
The topography is not conducive to development.
It is, but the costs on it
would be astronomical. So when the housing comes out of the ground, it would reflect that astronomical price.
Henceforth, why I predict inventory is going to stay low for the next 5 to 10 years.
You think shrink?
Yeah. We may hit a plateau. I'm looking at 43 homes that just came on the market in the last 7 days. I'm trying to figure out where it was a week ago and find. And I think
there's 8,000 to 10,000 incremental residents about to hit Charlottesville in the next 5 years.
So last Friday,
legitimately.
Oh yeah, sure.
New residents, 8,000 to 10,000, hitting Charlottesville in the Albemarle County area in the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are going to be cash.
And they're going to be very wealthy people.
Well, if I'm having trouble finding somebody at 6 figures, the salaries are climbing.
Right.
So a week ago we were at 66 new, so we're down a little over 20 units that from week over week. Last Friday we had 66 come on, we're at 43. We've got 58 that went pending. We actually got a little bit more. We were 55 a week ago. What has sold to 73 a week ago, we're up to 85. So again, I talk about this all the time on the show. What's happening? Look, people are buying and selling homes. What's the right time to do this? Now. What's the right time to list a house? Now. Inventory is down. Buyer pool is just growing. It will continue to grow. That Millennial Z cohort is just going to grow and grow for decades to come. They're going to be in the market. Us boomers are kind of fading out. 20 years from now, I'll be 80-something. So that's a scary thought.
You're still a young man, Keith.
Not at 80-something, I might not be.
I mean, Pop's a young man.
He is. He is a young man. Matter of fact, thank you for reminding me. I have to call him. I called him 3 times yesterday. He didn't return my phone call. So I got to check in on him. Got to do the wellness check. What's going on, Pop? Pop? Probably napping. That's what he's doing. God love him.
Judah Wickhauer's getting a little smirk out of that. 11:35. So you're having fun.
Yeah. So
give the viewers and listeners some closing thoughts.
Yeah. No. Look. First and foremost, pull down the partner tab. I couldn't get the fun that we do and have the conversation that we do without them. So please support them. Please, please, please. They're wonderful people and they make magic happen. Now's the right time to do this. I'm excited about next week. I'm excited about having Yvonne here to talk about her experience. We're going to focus on that, her experience as a millennial and how she went through it and her understanding of the process. Homes will appreciate. If you are on the sidelines thinking about buying, I'm telling you, now's the time to do it. We're not going backwards. We're going forward. We're going forward with it. So you're going to be chasing an ever-increasing thing. Yes, interest rates are approaching 8%, if not more. You'll have an opportunity down the road to refinance. When? Who knows? But there will be an opportunity. What goes up comes down. But if you're renting at the moment, you're just not building equity. You're not working up that ladder.
Donna Patton says, we all have buyers without anything to sell them. Eric Thompson says, what is the best county for entry points in the drivable commuting area? The best county for entry points, Eric, is probably Buckingham.
Single-family detached.
It's probably Buckingham. Now you're going to have a 45-minute drive to the epicenter of employment.
Probably more
one
than
way.
that. Probably more than that.
Maybe depending on how fast you go. Eric, you can find in Buckingham.
If it's legal, it might be a little bit more than 4.
Maybe I didn't say legal.
Yeah.
You can find something in the twos, Eric, for a single family detached.
Yeah. So the reality of it is, Lake Monticello, you still got stuff in the 3s, right? We're going to talk about that more on Monday. So is that the new entry level, right? They're
Mid threes.
Mid 3s. Townhomes, new construction are at 400 plus. Don't know if you consider that affordable. So the question is to this gentleman, what does he consider?
Eric Thompson and is it your significant other are looking to purchase a house literally now.
And so the question is, where is your comfort level per month? And there's a great app for on Monday. I'll bring it. There's a great app that you can actually put in the miles that you travel. Let's say if you were at Lake Monticello to work is X, and if you were at Lake Monticello to the center of Buckingham or wherever it is, and it'll actually tell you how much money extra it costs you, and there's all kinds of factors into it. And I use that tool quite regularly because, maybe you just might want to pay a little bit more for the house to be a little bit closer on it because you're driving less on it. There's less, and some people like to drive.
Decompress.
Some people like the windshield time.
What are you doing this weekend?
I'm excited. You know how much I love my grandkids.
Yeah.
All my grandkids are going to be in the house this weekend.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Connecticut's in the house?
Connecticut's going to be in the
My
house.
man Harry as well?
My man, yeah.
Harry's coming?
No, hold it. I think Big Harry's working.
Okay.
Well, Yasmina's got a bit of a struggle right now. She's in the movie business.
And they're on strike?
They're on strike, so she's got some free time.
Okay.
So she's going to come down with the 2 grandkids.
How'd they get down there? Driving?
They're going to drive, yeah.
Okay.
And so I think most of next week.
Harry living a bachelor lifestyle for a little bit. A little jealous over there, Harry.
We're gonna have all the grandkids with us and daughters with us, and we're excited about it. That's what I'm doing. I think I've got a list of things to do this week that has been put on my desk
Honey-do
at the
list?
house. No, these are very specific lists, like go food shopping.
Yes.
You know what our refrigerator looks like, right?
Yes. Yeah. You need to stock the fridge for the kiddos.
Yeah. We're college kids. I got wine, milk for the coffee.
And you got that secret hidden sleeve of Oreos that Yona doesn't know about.
Damn it. She thinks I'm going on bike rides. Jersey.
That's why you're putting on the Facebook Reels to prove that you went on the bike ride?
I do, absolutely. Yeah. So, biking jerseys, if you don't know, that they have pockets in the back.
Oh, you got the sleeves, the Oreos back there?
I may have Oreos in there as energy food.
Jamie Turner, you can get some. Jamie Turner on a different Facebook page says to Eric, you can get something in Gordonsville, which I think may be closer than Buckingham. Just not much on the market there, but there's better quality of life in Gordonsville than Buckingham. I think there's some truth to that. Undoubtedly, some truth to that.
Yeah, well,
Gordonsville has more amenities.
It depends on what you define quality of life. For me, I love Gordonsville.
Barbecue Exchange.
It's got everything that you want.
The Ice House.
The town of Gordonsville is freaking off the charts.
It is awesome.
And if you can find something close and you can walk or do your little electric bike around, it's great. But people like Buckingham because they want to be out in the country. And do that. So they just want something different.
Creatures of habit.
So we're past time, sir.
I know, Keith. Good stuff from you.
Yeah,
Keith is on fire.
Yeah,
new restaurant coming to Main Street, Gordonsville as well.
Really?
Just found that out from Jamie, Mayor Gordonsville, right there.
Which is?
What is the name of that restaurant, JT?
Oh, got it. All right, what are you doing this weekend? You asked me.
I'm going to be spending time with my family.
There you go. Well,
Very
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear
little pool
about
action, little squash.
I'm excited on Monday to hear about the first day of school.
I can't. I was so proud of him today. It was a little bit of an orientation, and he exceeded expectations. Was a social butterfly today.
So is he taking a bus? Is he going to get driven?
No bus. We drop off.
Yeah, and I bet you he bolts out of the car and goes, bye.
As soon as he got out of the car, he was ready to go.
Yeah, good for you.
There you go.
Well, have a good weekend, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Judah Wickauer.
Judah, have a good weekend, my friend.
Thank you. You as well.
I Love Seville show is up in 40 or 50 minutes. 50 minutes at 12:30. Thank you kindly for joining us on Real Talk. Show archived at realtalkwithkeithsmith.com. Click the Partners tab. The folks you can trust in the game we call real estate. For Keith, for Judah, my name is Jerry Miller. We'll catch up with you in 50 3 minutes.
Thank you for letting us do this.
Good work.
All right.
Excellent job. That was flawless.